Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Damn Parenting, your English speaking parenting podcast from the Netherlands. As always, we are your hosts, Eva
Maren?
and today is another episode of DAMChats, where myself and Maren are just gonna chat about a topic. Last week we were chatting about the flu. The week before that we were chatting about books. Today we're actually going to be chatting a little bit more not sensitive topic, but just a little bit of research based that we just really wanted to inform all of our listeners just to be aware of and hopefully shine a light on something that you may not be aware of. And that is the very cheap, very cute, adorable matching outfits, super cute, very cheap clothing that people can buy online through websites such as PatPat and Shine and Temu and Wish and Alibaba and everything else like that. And the reason that we're actually doing this episode is mainly because new parents get excited and they want their little ones to look adorable and have matching outfits for those every month pictures from when they're born to when they're 12 months old, and to show them the phases of here's a Halloween picture and here's a Sinterklaas picture and here's a Christmas picture. And that costs money. You know, I mean, if you're going to go to Hema or if you're going to go to Zara or any of those, that's going to cost, a little bit of money that you're only going to be really wearing once, because we know those babies grow 8 sizes in the first 2 years. The reason we're kind of actually doing this is basically because experts have warned that there are high levels of chemicals in these clothes. And that's why we want to do this episode, is because we want parents to be aware of this and we want them to understand the reason why we're saying, please be aware and hopefully just don't buy. And if you are really, really, really pushed on buying these, please buy secondhand, because when they're secondhand, they should have been washed multiple and multiple and multiple times. And hopefully that will have removed a percentage of the chemicals, so it's not as damaging. But right from the start, just from my behalf, I just really want to raise this awareness because I've seen it posted around several places over the last couple of years. I think Canada actually were ceasing the sales of any of these kind of products after they did an investigation back in 2021, I think it was. So, I mean, this is known for several years, and yet I notice people still on some Facebook groups or WhatsApp groups still asking, hey, can I buy from PatPat? Would you recommend? And people are saying, yeah, it's adorable. It's, the right size or whatever. So we just really want to do this as how will we call this actually? Is this an announcement? Is this a
I don't
community?
know. I guess this is just making people aware because I would assume as a consumer, I don't consume these and I don't buy this kind of clothing. However, I would always assume that if I am allowed to purchase something in the EU, there must be certain regulations, there must be certain things that are checked in order for it to be allowed to be sold here. So that's where I kind of like, yeah, trust the company that they are following all these rules and regulations. However, and this is, it comes back, and I've heard this discussion when on another totally other different topic, but also about plastic toys. And they said, oh, yeah, so you have these people who buy plastic toys, but then you have like the bougie elite who says, oh, I don't have plastic, but Schleich is okay, these animals. And then I thought, yes, there is a difference because Schleich is made in Germany. The German government has a lot stricter regulations when it comes to plastic and toys for children than other countries outside the EU have when stuff is produced in China, in Bangladesh, wherever you name where these things come from. So, yes, Schleich is plastic, but it is produced under different circumstances with different rules. And I think being aware of that then also applies for clothing. There is a difference if something is made in the EU or if something is made outside of the EU. And I guess, yeah, this is just being aware and not relying on the testing or relying on they will follow all the rules. It's going to be okay. Otherwise, it wouldn't be allowed to be sold as children's clothing. That was my thought that I always had, but apparently that's not the case. So I guess, yeah, just checking where your stuff is made, checking where it's coming from. And like Eva said, making conscious choices, getting it secondhand. Or if you don't want to get it secondhand, then really like wash it multiple times and make sure it's on your child's skin. And yeah, it might cause different stuff along the line or down the line, and just be aware of that.
Yeah, the thing I kind of wanted to address, I actually can't find the link, maybe I can put it up later on, was it said that the clothing that was tested, I think in America, had 20 times the level of lead for an adult. So I don't even know what that would be for a baby. Lead, if it's consumed into a child's body, I mean, obviously it's not going to kill them straight away. But the thing is, in this day and age, we are all very highly aware of microplastics in our system. They're found in fetuses. They're found everywhere in our food system, in our drinks, everywhere. And we're trying to do the best as parents. And so obviously we want to make the best choices we possibly can. For those of us who can afford clothing, that's, all well and good. You can go out and buy whatever you want from the different brands online or in shops. For those of us who cannot, we always have places like Vintage. There's Marketplace on Facebook. There's the WhatsApp groups, buy and sell WhatsApp groups out there. There's a lot of different options out there. And so we really just kind of wanted to do this. Again, I don't even know how to call this episode. We're not preaching, I guess. We're not, dictating or telling you what to do. We just really want to inform people and make them aware that these cheap, fast, and extremely fast fashion clothing companies, which are based in Asia. I mean, many of them have been shown to have employees working up to 75 hours at very, very low rates of pay. I mean, we're talking about not just cheap clothing and the chemicals involved, but we are also talking about the people involved in the process. In this modern day and age, I'd say most of us are highly aware of this and make our own choices for ourselves. So please don't stop just because it's your child and you want them to look cute, but also just take that into consideration as well.
And also, when we're talking about work conditions, I know this is not something that we want to hear. Also, not something we want to hear when we eat meat. Where is this actually coming from? How does it look in a slaughterhouse? But let's keep in mind that this clothing is not always made by people who are 18 years and older, or even 15 years and older. So let's just be aware of that fact as well. When you want the best for your child, let's make sure we also want the best for other parents' children. And sadly, that is a part of the fast fashion cycle, and that is especially a part of websites like Shein or Shine or whatever their name is, and all Alibaba Express and all that stuff. So yeah, be aware of that and make not only good choices for you and your family, but also make choices for other families.
So we're going to leave it there. It's just short, it's just sweet, but it's really just an info episode that we just really wanted to get out there because we've noticed way too many people asking about these too good to be true prices of these very cute baby clothes. So please.
Someone's paying the price, someone's paying the price, and it's your health or your child's health. And that's the price you pay for. That's it. You pay €1, but you pay another price for why you only pay €1 for it. And, sometimes when you're doubting already, sometimes you're looking for a sign like, oh, I'm not 100% convinced yet, but maybe this episode is like the last little thing that will keep your hand away from the order button or make your browser open on Vinted or Marketplace or whatever and look for another option before you make that other choice.
Indeed. So with that, we'll say we hope you share this with anyone you might think of. If you already have these clothes, please, as I said, just wash those clothes repeatedly, which can remove some of the chemicals. Do not wash them with other clothes because then the chemicals can get into the water system, into the other clothes. We are not professionals. We are not scientists. We are not those kind of researchers. But what we have done is we've read a couple of pieces and we just wanted to share this knowledge. That's all. So, Maren, take it away.
Every Wednesday, we release another expert episode. Every other Monday, we release a DAMChats episode where you can just hear, like today, even I sharing our thoughts and opinions and experiences about something that we came along during the week. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Damn Parenting Podcast. Make sure you click like, subscribe, and maybe share this episode on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Or we are also on YouTube. One thing that you can do that would help us tremendously if you rate us on any of your podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any other rating site. Give us 5 beautiful stars or as much as you can give us so we can get visible. And this content that we're putting out there is reaching lots and lots of people and helping them along their parenting journey. That's it from us. We'll hear on the next Wednesday with the next expert episode. That's it for now. Bye.
Bye.